Hey, John Siebeling, thanks for joining me for Unscripted.
Let's go.
This is not carpool with comedians, carpool karaoke. It's none of that.
We could do a little karaoke.
This is vehicles and preachers.
Let's not start something
Yeah. We are together. This is pastors in transit right now, trying to head over to the Dream Center.
Pit.
Do what?
We're in the pit.
We're in the pit.
We're in the
this is
pits.
it.
Pastors
in transit to the. Where are we going right now?
We're in Memphis going to our Austin P location, which is in the Raleigh area. Raleigh kind of, neighborhood of Memphis. Serve Day.
Well, this is Unscripted. You have no idea what we're going to be talking about. I don't even know if sure you knew you were driving.
I
found that out today.
I got in the car and I've seen all these cameras.
Yeah, it's cameras everywhere.
And they mic me up and I'm like,
where are we going? This is Unscripted. So we're having Serve Day. We're in Memphis. Access Conference.
Right.
So what's happening? Tell us about Access Conference and why have you integrated a Serve Day with 2,000 students on the street today across Memphis? Why did you integrate that into a conference? We should be in the building singing songs, going crazy. Why are we out here on these streets?
Well,
these Memphis streets.
You are the you're the grand master. You're the founder of the Serve Day. I mean, you are the one that created this. I love young people. I love our Access Conference. I mean, it's madness. 2,000
15 years.
This is our 15th year, 2,000 students. And I think Serve Day is the greatest illustration of what you preach at the conference. It's like, let's live this life out. So to take 2,000 students and go out on the streets of Memphis and serve, I mean, what better expression of, the love of God? So it's kind of, we always say that Access Conference is kind of like the conference meets camp and with a little, kind of mission field.
Wow.
Mixed, the Serve Day is kind of
I love seeing all the red shirts.
Oh my
all
gosh.
The kids, they have teams, but yet they do these red shirts.
No, my favorite morning, you just spoke at the Serve Day rally. My favorite session of the conference is seeing 2,000, teenagers with red shirts on going out to serve.
Gosh, in a world like the world we're living in.
And I think, I remember a couple of years ago, I guess our mayor came out or chief of police or something, and they were
chief of police.
Yeah, they were like, wow, why isn't this on the news? There's so much negativity around this generation, and here's 2,000 students going out to serve and love and be Jesus to a city that needs it.
So has it been hard to get them involved, get them fired up? I mean, they seem fired up, but it's been a process. Sometimes kids are into themselves, like everybody is selfish. Everybody's thinking about their deal, their hurt, their stuff. And so you've made this a massive value in the conference, but it's not only in the conference, in the church, in your life, in the value of the church. I mean, that's one of the things I think that sets apart churches like ours.
Right.
Churches, friends of ours that we love and other churches is they know that it's just not for us.
No, we have so many. It's a value of our church, so it's easy. But we have so many, guest churches, obviously, that are a part of Access Conference. I'm telling you, the number one feedback is we're a part of Access Conference because of the Serve Day. Literally, of course, we have amazing speakers and worship. It's creative. It's amazing. It's a 10. But the Serve Days, and then, so we close the conference tonight. So they serve all day, and then the conference closes.
There's some over there. They stop it at DQ. Grill and chill. Chill grill.
They're like,
chill grill.
We need a blizzard.
We need a blizzard. Go into the heat wave.
We need a blizzard before we go pick up trash at that apartment complex.
It's interesting. We do Serve Day, of course, Highlands, and about 2,000 churches. I think Rachel told me it could be 2,700 churches that do some expression this summer. We're going to be doing something. Matter of fact, y'all are going to be doing something again with us in July.
Yep.
We're going to do food distribution at a massive level. Convoy of Hope. I think it's 11 cities, 12 churches, about 500,000 pounds of food. But you've always done that. You always have cared about missions. Missions has been a part
That's right.
of you and Leslie's DNA, your family, Anna, Zach, Mark. You're a leader, of course, lead team at ARC. We're always trying to embed in those ARC planters, get in the city.
Yep.
So give me a little bit of the nucleus and why is that a big deal for you, and how has it, what have been the results?
Well, it's the Great Commission. I mean, go into all the world. So I was a part of a church when I really first kind of felt God call me to ministry. The church that I was a part of had such a high value of missions, world missions. They, wasn't, I don't feel like city outreach, serving your city was not there yet.
Right.
You really introduced that. We are forever indebted to you for introducing that into the body of Christ. But so world missions, the church that I was a part of, we went on mission trips, short-term mission trips. And I think it was kind of like the greatest thing you could do with your life would be to give your life for the mission field. And so Leslie and I moved to Africa. We lived in Africa for 3 years.
Africa.
And
in a massive city.
Nairobi.
I mean, Nairobi is a massive city.
Yeah, crazy city. We learned so much. We were a couple of years married and no kids, and
great mentors.
We learned great Pastor Don and Amy Matheny. We learned to live by faith.
Yeah.
People like you and others supported us financially, other churches, and so missions was always just there. And in fact, when we came home to start our church, which is like 28 years ago now.
Wow.
28.
Yeah, 28.
28. Yes. I'm proud of that 28.
You should be.
Sometimes it seems like 280 years. But we did. It was bittersweet to come home because we felt, man, are we compromising? We're leaving the mission field. But the Lord spoke to us that if we would be, it's literally John 12, if we would be that seed and we would go into the ground and die, that the Lord would produce much fruit out of our lives. And that really the Lord said, if you go home and build a church that has a heart for outreach and missions, I'll use you more if you go home and build a church than if you stay here. I almost felt like the Lord gave me a choice. Like, if you want to stay on the mission field, of course,
sure,
wonderful. But if you do go home and do this, you'll have a greater impact for the world. So
I wish there was 10 of us, because we could go to all the 10, 15, or 15, 20 of us. We go to all the locations today. There's just so many things there. I think there's like 10 to 20 different locations. I know every year you're taking on some new ones.
Right.
When Zach and Anna, we'll talk to Anna and Lear in a little bit at the location. But when they were introducing the idea of birthday boxes, genius idea. I want to talk.
Oh my gosh! When I heard that this morning, that was for the first time.
Brilliant outreach. And one of the things that people always ask us in the Servolution Serve Day world, and I know you're one of the things I love about Life Church is you're constantly trying to put the cookies on the bottom shelf and distribute out what you're learning. So you do make room, you do cohorts with pastors.
Right.
I mean, what I love about all of our friends is we're trying to help other churches, not the competitive, not the weirdest. And so you've done that. Y'all are doing different things. How have you been able, all these years, what have you learned about Memphis, and why is it important for you to be integrated and engage with your city? And then I'll ask you, how do you do that?
That's a great question. I think, unfortunately, Memphis, is at the top of some of the lists that you don't want to be on as a city. And so, Anna preached a great message last night that, the only consistent ingredient to all the miracles of Jesus was there was a need.
Yeah.
So the city has a lot of need. I feel like
a problem. She used that word, problem.
God called us here. There's so many problems. There's so many challenges. God's called us here. And I'll tell you, Dino, we started the church in November. And the first thing we really did as a church was in December. We did an outreach with Angel Tree
Wow. Oh yeah.
at a community
With Prince
center.
of Fellowship.
Listen, to be honest, I'm just remembering this. It was at a community center in Raleigh, which is where we're going. Now we have a location there. So
Seed.
28 years ago, the first Christmas outreach was
Gosh.
Angel Tree, and we reached out to all of the, I guess they gave us some kind of
Names and
list.
profiles.
Yeah. So we invited all, we had a Christmas party for the children
Gosh.
whose parents were in prison, in jail at Christmas. And so, I mean, that's sort of always been in the DNA. And I think, you know, God calls you to a city. My Pastor Don and Pastor Larry Stockstone, they always talked about a city, like you're called to reach the city. And I think that's, you know, that's a big mandate. That's a big responsibility. So
I hope that reminds somebody today to love their city.
Yeah.
You know,
So
we
good.
love our church. We love what we get to do. We love all these things. At the end of the day, you need to love your city. You need to love all these people.
No doubt.
All these people out here, over there. I mean,
And every city has problems. If you're going to a city only because you love everything about the city.
Good restaurants.
Yeah, good restaurants, great weather. You know, I'm a weather guy. Like, but believe me, I love the sun, and man, why not be willing to? Yeah, in fact, we were talking about this the last couple of days. This mentality that I hope it feels like we're losing it a little bit right now. This mentality that I'll go wherever you want me to go, Lord. Instead of where's the best weather or the best restaurants, or, you know, I know young families like, they got to go to the place where there's the best schools. Well, who's going into those dark places, those places that are tougher? And, you know, we need to be the salt and the light going into those cities as well. So
we talk a lot about at our launch training. You've been to those. You've been a part of ARC for all these years. You know, the idea of, are we going to send some people to places that everybody's leaving? It's not. I mean, again, it's hard. It's tough.
Yeah.
And we've got some church planners answering that call.
Yes.
That are saying,
goodness.
"Man, hey, we just sang it. Send me."
Right. Overflow.
Overflow.
It's a good song.
Overflow. You know,
We're going back to karaoke.
and then they kind of.
Oh, this is the cars.
That's the cars. We're in the car. It was meant to be. We're in cars talking about compassion, outreach. So how have you? So tell me how you do that. Are you talking to a mayor? Are you talking to a city council? Are you just seeing a need and meet a need, small ways, big ways? So I know you've got great outreach team. I mean, love all those people. We do a lot together. We mirror a lot of outreach, which I think churches should do.
Yep.
Highlands here. My goodness, New Life. I mean, we just go on and on talk about all the churches that do cool things. Daniel Floyd's doing a lot of serve-based stuff. So how does that work?
Well, I think every church can do something, and you need to do the best that you can with what you have in the season that you're in. So, like I said, we were a month old. Dino, we have 60 people in the church.
God, man.
And we were doing an Angel Tree outreach. So it's not like, well, once we get, like I've had pastors tell me, once we get to your size, or once we have your budget, or once we have your team, well, we didn't have that. So
the answer is no, you won't then either.
You won't. Every season that we've been in, we've done what we could with what we have, with where we are. So I think, you know, now we're doing so much more than we ever have. Well, of course, we're bigger than we've ever been.
And you're scaling that at campuses.
We're trying to.
I mean, you've got global campuses now.
Right.
You've got campuses of all sizes.
Right.
So you're teaching them, because I've been in those conversations, I've been in your meetings, you're teaching them to begin small.
Yep.
Make a big impact.
Yep.
Find a need, meet a need.
Yep.
And then whether that's in Chile, it's in Italy, it's in New York.
Yeah.
I mean,
Massachusetts.
all those things. They're still doing
South
surveys.
Africa.
They're still doing outreach expressions. Talk to me a little bit about how you've led that diversity, that it's a menu.
So I'm a Bible guy, all right? I feel like this is going to sound very basic and very simple, but
you're a Bible guy.
The church,
yes.
The church.
We need more of them.
The church was born on the day of Pentecost, Acts chapter 2. The thing that we're doing today was birthed 2,000 plus years ago. So I'm like, well, let's look back at the identity of the church and what they did in the beginning. Acts chapter 2. Verse 41 or something, it says that day 3,000 people were added to the church. So the first thing we see is salvation. Got to be reaching people that are lost. And then you're like, well, what do they do next? And then it's like, well, they, devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching. They, and fellowship, and broke bread
House
from
to
house to house. And then what do? They were generous, and they took care of anybody that had need. So reaching people and meeting needs and helping the poor and the needy is in the fabric and the DNA of the church from the very beginning. And so, and the Holy Spirit empowers that. So I think there's nothing more that God, how do I say that? I'm at a loss for words. God blesses this maybe more than anything else that we do, because it's so close to the heart of God, reaching the lost, helping the poor and needy. And I think to whom much is given, much is required. We've been given so much. We have so much. We need to be making sure that we're giving it away and helping people.
Well,
In answer to your question, it's not a strategy. It's a heart. It's it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's, when you look in the Bible in Acts chapter 2, it says the lifestyle of the early church. It wasn't the programs or the strategy. Their lifestyle was meeting needs and helping people that were in need. So,
and you think about, it's because we'll talk, we create these lists. I got 500, I think the team, of course, have put together 500 easy outreaches list.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
So those are available. But getting back to your point, if you don't have the heart, the spiritual mandate, the biblical mandate, if you don't believe it's God, it's not about justice, it's not about do-gooders. Hey, I'm not trying to be nice. It's not about us being nice. All that's a part of it.
Yeah.
But the core of it is a heart for God and a love for people.
No doubt.
So, and then out of that, hey, let's get you a list and go do a car wash or go partner with the school. Because a lot of what y'all do is partnerships.
Right.
And I think that is sometimes, churches are a little intimidated sometimes with partnerships. How have you utilized partnerships? Because you have a dynamic feeding program. You've been doing that for over a decade.
Yeah.
Feed Memphis.
Longer than that, probably.
I think last year, over 500,000 meals you fed. So that's through partnerships. That's through collaboration. That's through a working together. Tell me a little bit about that strategy here, and how's that worked in the partnerships? How you've collaborated?
I think what happens is if you have a heart to do it, all of a sudden God brings people your way that want to help and want to be a part. So like we were doing this thing where we were feeding these kids after school. It's like an after school.
And how did that come about?
I heard Matthew Barnett talk about it. I was so
an idea from someone else.
Yeah, and I read about this zip code, and it's close to the zip code where we're going, where the hunger is intense. Like kids going to bed hungry every night. The weekend was the worst time. So I read this article, and I happened to be with Matthew. I said, "What do I do?" He said, "Find an old ice cream truck, wrap it, paint it Life Church, find food, go to the school on Friday afternoon and just give food to the kids when they come out." So we started that. I just got up impromptu, spontaneously one Sunday, and I said, "We're doing it. We're doing this." I'm buying the first truck. So Leslie and I, we found a truck,
for real,
$5,000 truck, and I bought it. And by the end of that Sunday, Dino, I had $75,000 of checks in my hand.
And you didn't do it for that reason?
No. People were like, "Well, if you're buying a truck, I'm buying a truck." So we had more money.
Now you got like 15 trucks to buy.
And everybody was like, "Hold up, we can't take care of all these mechanically, all these trucks." But we put it into the program we started. So I don't know, at one point, we were feeding 10,000 kids every Friday afternoon. And then COVID hit. No school.
Okay.
So what are we going to do? Well, then, like Uber Eats said, I think it's Uber Eats. Uber Eats is like, we'll deliver the boxes.
So you're getting
free.
Creative.
Amazon said, we'll provide all the boxes. All of a sudden, all these partners came and they were like, we're going to help keep this going. It had to change and morph, and you have to adjust. But, I always want to make sure we're doing it. I don't ever want to delegate. I don't think you can
Sub it
delegate
out.
outreach.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you can just like, well, I'm just going to give money and I'll just give a bunch of checks away once a year. I want our people to be the hands and feet of Jesus,
Yeah, amen.
to experience what it's like to be used by God. So,
100%.
It's a lot of organic evolving and having people willing to say, yes, okay, yeah, we can do that. Let's figure out how to do that, you know?
And when the kind of people that I've been around your people. I've always felt like what is in your heart, there's people out there. God gives you those things. So they're normally right there.
I agree.
When you have a heart to go in the correctional facilities, when you have a heart to work with families that maybe have special needs challenges, when you have a heart to help people, whether it's a food shortage, it's those that are trying to figure out addiction and sobriety.
No doubt.
You have all these, whether it's the freedom or it's the discovery or it's working with senior adults, it's working in the nursing homes. If God puts those things in your heart, then normally He's going to put that in your pews.
And I think you realize pretty quickly we can't do everything. So we had a huge food insecurity issue in Memphis.
Yeah.
And we have the most vulnerable are the kids. So we said we're going to help feed kids. So feeding kids became we do a lot of other things, but that became sort of
a little laser focus.
And I think that's probably also a good thing. We do a variety of things, but if you can sort of say, okay, here's our 2 or 3 things, and I do think the 2 or 3 things need to be attached to the biggest need.
Always.
So
you're right.
Do you know what?
If you're just someone here that's not really attached to the biggest need, that's great. But
so any pastor that says, "How do I get this going?" I say, go figure out what the biggest 1, 2, 3 needs are in your city. Well, how do I find that out? Just write your mayor.
Yeah.
Write the city council.
Talk to a police officer.
Read the paper.
Read the paper.
Get online and listen to the news, and then say, okay, what can we do to make our impact? What's going to be our impact in those need areas?
And come alongside.
Yeah.
And make a difference. And that is what, we're riding through Memphis. And Memphis, you sometimes you hear, crime. Sometimes you have a history
Big
of
problem.
Racism, civil rights, pain.
Yes.
There's some streets you could ride around here, and they got some stories. Some of these streets will talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Addiction, alcoholism, homelessness.
Poverty.
Extreme poverty.
Extreme poverty.
For America, you're having that. Do you feel that when you ride? I mean, I think as a pastor, you just can't go to your church. To me, I could never just be 100%. Man, I'm just so glad what's happening here. It's like the city calls you. To me, the streets call you. The
100%.
pain, the domestic violence, the abuse of children, the struggle of humanity. It calls you. It called Jesus.
Yes. Proverbs 11:11. Proverbs 11:11 says, "By the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted." And so I feel like I went through a season where I was discouraged about the needs and like, gosh, man, what are we going to do? And it's like
so many.
Oh, there's so many. And then I started realizing, you can easily start complaining about all the negative things in your city.
Talk to me.
And so I think I preached a little series, I can't remember, but Proverbs 11:11, like, let's bless our city, because it says, by the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted. I think that's our words. Like, I really honestly think,
speak well.
Stop complaining about your city. Stop saying, I can't wait to get out of here. And
our city's too hard.
Yeah,
you hear that all the time.
Oh yeah, every pastor has said this city is a graveyard for pastors and churches.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's heard that. So speak well, and then blessing also means, I think, do something and serve, and at least let's make sure we're doing our part. I do think you can get too consumed with the need, and your identity is wrapped around the need. We have to. Our identity, we're believers, so we are the head and not the tail, and above and not beneath. So we have to bring our sense of lift into the need, rather than being pulled down to the need, which can discourage you, and your identity then could be wrapped up in your outreach.
Well, and you can get compassion fatigue, and you can get warped compassion.
Right.
I've been around people that have like it's not Jesus
Right.
no longer.
Right.
It is that you've got to constantly
and the church
watch that in your own heart.
The church needs to be strong because the Bible says in Romans 15, we who are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak.
Boy, that's good.
But if we're not strong, we can't help.
Yeah.
So I'm always teaching our team that there's a balance to this. Like church has to be really, we have to have great church. Church has to be strong, healthy, so that we can be a strength to the city. If we're weak and anemic as a church, we're never going to be able to help our city. So that's why we have a vision to build a big, thriving, influential church, because that the spillover of the overflow of that is we could get into the streets and make a difference.
Can you do Wayne Francis moves?
No, I can't, but I can do this. Working for the weekend, little lever ball already. So.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Unscripted. We just want to take a brief moment to say thank you to Convoy of Hope for making this episode possible. Convoy of Hope serves around the world, from disaster relief, feeding programs in war zones, and they do so many things with women's empowerment. They have served more than 163 million people since 1994. That's amazing. And are experts in resourcing and mobilizing the local church of all sizes to meet the needs of their community. Whether it's organizing an event or sponsoring families in need, there are so many opportunities for all of us to work together with them and to make a difference. Make sure to check them out on our website, arcchurches.com/partners, to learn more about how to get involved with Convoy. You can access right there free resources as they've prepared for the ARC family. So I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, what's going on, Anna?
What's up?
We are at the Memphis Dream Center.
Yes, we are.
One of them. You got two.
One of them. We got two in Memphis.
Anna Van Bergholm.
Yes.
Siebeling. Just the whole name.
All of
How
it.
do you introduce yourself now, like with the whole thing? Give me the whole thing.
Anna.
Just Anna.
Yes.
Preach a great message.
Yeah.
Anna, you have a heart for outreach. You have
I
a heart
do.
for people.
Yeah.
So we're in Raleigh, Memphis, kind of
Yes.
Raleigh, Memphis area.
Yeah.
What campus is this?
This is our Austin P location.
And then you're doing church and you're doing a dream center.
Yeah.
Me and your dad just rode over here in the car.
In the car.
We're rocking in the car, talking about serve, outreach, the heart.
Yeah.
So what's going on today?
What's really cool is we've got about 300 students in the gym today.
Wow.
We're packing birthday in a box.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
It's really special.
This is a new idea.
Birthday in a box. So the goal today.
Where did it come from? Who thought of this?
Our Dream Center directors, Dr. Joe and Kelly Carson.
Are they not the best?
They're the best.
Okay, so tell me about that.
They've recognized that in
Saw
our
you.
city, there's a need to celebrate kids when a lot of finances don't often go towards birthday.
Yeah.
But how special it is to celebrate your kid on their birthday. I mean,
amazing.
every kid deserves a party. So our goal today is to pack hundreds of boxes. And in the box is everything you would need for a birthday party. Throw a little birthday party.
So we're gonna identify these
Candles
kids
and a card.
that come to the Dream
Yes,
Center that
so
are part of your
these
reading
boxes-
program. On and on.
These boxes are going to be distributed to different Title I schools in Memphis.
Oh wow!
Given to school counselors so that they can choose who needs them the most.
So now we're partnered with the school.
Yes.
Everybody's winning.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
we
really
got to see
special.
what's in these boxes.
Yeah, let's go look.
So tell us what's happening here.
It
Boxes.
looks like we're starting with the assembly of the boxes.
What
right
team
here.
is this?
Red team. This is the red team.
Red
Green
team.
They're green right here.
Oh, this
red
is
team's
green.
Down
This
here.
is green. Okay. So we got boxes.
Assembling these boxes over here.
We're operating with tape.
Yes.
I love some tape. Come on, y'all got it? Y'all knocking it out? Everything's good?
Looking
Okay. Oh, so wait a
good.
minute. We have something in the box. I've identified an item.
We got birthday plates
What
right
is
here.
this? Well, look at this.
Funfetti.
What is this?
Funfetti.
What do you do with? Is this cookie mix? Funfetti?
Yeah, you make the cookies.
You make cookies and they're confetti.
Birthday cookies. Birthday
Oh,
plates.
and then you have birthday plates.
Yeah.
Okay, this is amazing.
This is amazing.
What a blessing.
So special.
Y'all enjoy
Look,
yourself?
These are the birthday candles.
What are y'all doing right
here.
now?
Oh, we're just unpackaging.
Just look.
Candles.
Gotta have birthday.
And giving candles.
And
Every
giving
kid needs to blow
How
out
does-
candles on their
How does it
birthday.
feel to do this right now for others?
This is great because I will want somebody to do this for me.
Turn around. Get on a mic. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Micah.
And where you go to high school?
I go to Arlington High.
Do you know Anna?
A A little bit.
Okay,
yes.
do you go to Life Church?
Yes, I do.
You rocking that gold? I see all that gold. Where my gold at? Where my gold at?
Gold person.
Gold. So why is this important for you to do? And why is it important for you to outreach, serve? Why don't you just be about yourself all the time?
First of all, that's selfish, and I don't want to be selfish. And also, I would want somebody to do this for me if I was in need, or if I needed anything, or if my family was struggling.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's real.
It feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels right, don't it?
It does feel right.
So those places that you're doing
Very
got
important.
them good nails, all representing on the nails. So it's going to go in a box.
Yes, sir.
And there's somebody you don't even know that you may never meet.
I may meet them one day.
But you may, but they're going to be blessed.
Yes.
And
Very blessed.
out of that, hopefully they'll know that God loves them.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Come on, shout out. Thank you.
Great job, Micah.
So what else is going on, Anna? Take us. We got balloons.
We got balloons. Gotta have balloons at a party. Noisemakers. I don't think we want to put that one in a box.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the noisemaker. Okay,
what's up, buddy?
stickers.
Yes. This looks like the decoration station. That's what I'm talking about, girls.
Decoration station.
Got the hearts on the box. Oh, we've got some artists over here, I can tell. Are you guys just writing encouraging messages?
Hey,
on
y'all
it?
are doing a great job. So,
That's sweet.
hey, this is look, they're decorating it.
That's
Hooray.
so sweet.
Surprise. Hey, how are you? This is incredible.
This is cool.
This is a great idea.
Each box matters, right? Each one's got to be real good.
She's got everything.
We got candy in here, plates,
So
candles.
you talk to students all the time. You and your husband lead students.
Yeah.
The church cares about students.
Yeah.
Oh,
we turn it up.
Hey, so question.
Yeah.
Why is it important for you to get students integrated in outreach? Not
Yes.
just worship, prayer,
Right,
the Bible.
right.
Why do you need to bring them on this journey too?
Something I've learned, and it's because a lot of people told me, but I've experienced it myself, is what the Bible says, that when we refresh others, we in turn will be refreshed. And we've noticed, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of teenagers that need some refreshing.
Yeah.
Things are dry in their life,
Yeah.
far from God, maybe dark
Yeah.
situations even. By exposing them to need in the city in a way that they can tangibly help,
Yeah.
they're going to end up being refreshed because they were a blessing to
So
other
what are
people.
some of the things y'all are doing today other than this?
Yeah, we've got Birthday in a Box. We're partnering with Operation Christmas Child, sending boxes over there. Packing a lot of boxes for those that are incarcerated
Yeah.
to bless
And then
us.
I think they're doing like 20,000 meals
20,000 meals.
at one of the locations. And then also, you've gotten donated a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that needs to be sorted.
Yes. The blessing of today, and we told students this, is it's not just like a one day, check it off, we're done. This is actually going to set our church and the Dream Center up to serve our city for months to come. So
Okay.
we're getting it done today so we can use it and be a
And you
blessing.
said something huge.
Yeah,
Serving is not checking a box.
right,
Talk about that.
right. Serving,
It's not really even a project or an
No,
event.
it's not. It's not a task to feel good about yourself, right? It's a chance. I like how Micah said it earlier, to be selfless and to bless other people.
Yeah. And because at the end of the day, it's about people.
Yep.
And when we're doing this now, but there will be the point of reach, and y'all do a lot of that. You're feeding people,
Right.
You're engaging people at Christmas,
Right.
And you've always done some micro outreaches. You've always been engaged in small groups.
Yeah.
I've seen you at times reaching people that have had vulnerabilities. You've done that in your life
Yeah.
as a teenager.
Yeah.
So why has that? I know your parents instilled that in that, but why does that continue to be a value?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a part of your DNA.
Yeah.
And are you going to stop doing it when you
Never,
grow older
never.
and you get all
I'm
serious?
gonna be 97 at the outreach packing boxes in a wheelchair. Wheel me into the outreach.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, for the rest of my life.
Because it is life. What do you do?
How could I not serve? You know what God's done for us.
What do you do when you're training kids, you're resourcing kids? How are you doing that to these kids? Are you doing that through small groups? Are y'all doing that on Wednesdays through Access?
Yeah.
How are these kids getting this?
We regularly on Wednesday nights throughout the year we'll have different nights that are dedicated to serving and outreach.
Wow.
We'll talk about it all the time in our messages, in our services, in our tribes, which is our grade specific small groups.
Grade specific small group.
Grade specific small group. They're all their grades meet together and they talk about the lesson, the message, and often it's about how can you be a blessing to other people and serve. We're also always pushing students to get involved on Sunday mornings and serve in church.
Serving on teams at church.
Serve in church. And then once a year we do a spring break mission trip that's here in the city.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to go to Honduras. We need to go to Kenya. But you're doing it in Memphis,
we start at home. So we ask about 100 students. That's our spot. 100 students. They spend the night at the Dream Center all week, and we do outreaches morning to night, and it's a lot of fun. It exposes them, you know, like I'm going to take my spring break, and instead of sitting at home on the game or sleeping in all day,
So when you were in high school, you did some of this?
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just something
It's some of my favorite memories I have, really. It is. I was telling someone this morning, one of my favorite parts about church and the family of God is like you can make anything fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've lived my life with that.
Packing boxes you could be overflowing with joy. It's a lot of fun when you're doing it together.
Overflow.
Yeah.
That's the song y'all wrote.
Right.
And the whole theme of the conference has been overflow.
And it has been
and
overflowing.
it's not going to stop at the conference.
Right. It's going to continue.
That value is going to carry on.
That's right.
And thank God for the generosity of your parents, the generosity of the church. Then you can do these things in the community,
so true.
Locally, nationally,
so true.
and then around the world.
Yeah.
Because it is the Great Commission.
That's right.
And you're right. You know, church can be, it can get predictable.
Right.
Outreach
Same old.
Caring, leaning in, you know, being there. Because sometimes outreach can be overwhelming. You get a kid that tells you, hey man, you know, my parents have split up.
Yeah.
Hey Anna, I've got to go into foster care program.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I don't have a bed to sleep in. You've run into all that.
Right.
And so you can feel overwhelmed, but at the same time, hey, let's get together and do something.
Yeah.
So how do you manage your own spirit, your own soul when you're dealing with pain?
Something that someone told me a long time ago, and it's a visual image that I've kind of kept in my mind. Sometimes outreach, the need is so great, it feels like you're emptying an ocean with an eyedropper. Like it's just like this is never going to get done.
Illustration.
You're just never going to get it done. But they told me, think about every drop and how much it matters. It's one person's life here, one family here, one situation here, and how much it means to that person. Change everything for them.
Yeah, it's so good.
Every single person matters.
There are some great kids in the church.
The best.
I mean, it's
we
a lot
have
of
the best.
fun.
Unbiased, but we got the best.
Unscripted, Anna Siebeling, John Siebeling. We are in Memphis,
Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee. What are we doing right now? Where
we
we at? What's
are
going
packing kits that can be given out to the unhoused in our city, just ready, prepared to help them with actual tangible things. We've got a few people writing some cards with Bible verses, things to encourage them. Yeah, it's pretty sweet to see. It takes everybody, right? All kinds of stuff in these kits to give out.
All of them going on, all the kids connected with it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, granola bar, a drink, Band-Aids. These are some things that we have found are needed.
Here at Jackson Elementary in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm here with Kelly Carson, who's kind of like the outreach extraordinaire for Life Church.
Hey guys!
So Kelly, tell me a little bit about what we're doing here at Jackson Elementary.
So this is so much fun for us. First of all, because Jackson, we've had a relationship with Jackson Elementary since 2009. Yeah. So students are all across the front of the building. We're remulching, weeding, and planting flowers so that when the kids come back in the fall, the school will be beautiful.
And they can have it looking good, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That is so awesome. Okay, so you guys have started 2 Dream Centers here in the Memphis area. Now, obviously, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy put into it. Tell me some of the things that you've learned in the process of starting a Dream Center. Why is partnering with a local school so crucial to beginning and running programs in your community?
Yes. So you can immediately connect with families when you go to a school. as a mom myself, if you love my children, I'm going to love you forever.
Yeah.
So it's great because we connect not only with the kids, but then we have special events at the school so that we're connecting with parents as well, because we provide so many programs and resources for the whole family. So that's great. And then I think what I've learned most of all is ask good questions in the community.
Love that. Love that.
Give the community a voice.
Yeah.
Like, we never want to assume we know what someone needs if we haven't asked them. Often we can make the mistake of answering questions no one's asking.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to us that we're in the community, that we're asking the people that we're walking alongside to speak into things we do.
Awesome. So you guys are this is your serve day for 2024. Tell me, what are some of the other things that you're doing? Or how about this? What is your favorite thing that you're doing on this day?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I love everything we're doing, but I think one of my favorite things, because it's the first time we've done it, we're assembling 1,000 birthday in a box kits. And so these kits will be given to school counselors at all of our Title I schools in Shelby County. And they will be able to distribute these kits to children whose family may not be able to afford to throw a birthday party. So the kit will provide them with everything they need, from funfetti cake mix to plates, party horns, hats, all the things.
If someone is watching this and they're like, hey, all this sounds great, this is awesome, but I have no outreach program, I have nothing going on, what would you say would be like the first thing for them to jump into doing something for their community?
Well, I will tell you what we did, if that's okay.
Let it rip.
So the first thing we did was we would load up my husband's pickup truck with bottled water, and we would go to Panera. Most people don't know this. Shout out to Panera. They give away all of their pastries and breads at the end of every day. So we would pick those up one day a week. We would bag them, and we would go to a park where we knew a lot of unhoused men and women would gather, and we started doing breakfast. It didn't cost us anything. I mean, a pallet of water costs maybe $50, $60, $100 maybe. And that's where we began. We began building relationships and just meeting needs and sharing breakfast.
Let's go Panera bread for the win. Kelly, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You're awesome.
Hey, we're so honored that you joined us on this episode here at Unscripted. If you're interested in learning more about planting a church or partnering with ARC, we'd love to get you connected. So visit our website at arcchurches.com for more information. Love to have you a part of this journey. So thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Unscripted.